And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
Guys. What's up, everyone? How the hell
everyone.
So how you guys doing this
evening? I'm good, man.
My audio.
I burned 3 batteries today. Didn't feel like I did anything constructive because I'm bored with the place flying, but I just had to get out just to say I flew. Because it would have been a waste of a day to even.
Yeah,
I would have been mad at myself. I went to get my second shot this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that and I had my backpack packed already. And I said, as soon as I walk in the house, I use the bathroom and run back out. And that's exactly what I did. Then I got to the park and was like,
how you feeling now, though?
I'm good. I'm cool.
Okay, good.
It's a little sore. I was telling Herman, I had noticed that the first shot was about this much. I don't know how many cc's it was, but it was like that
same
much,
dosage.
and the needle was that small. And the second dose was triple the amount, and the needle was 2 inches long. So I'm like, what the hell?
Okay. We're gonna get you a new eyeglass prescription too. Okay, they're the same dosage, by the way. And by the way, this is exactly what they made Tylenol for. Okay, so you're good to go, bro.
You see him been delusional already?
Look, no more than usual. What are we talking about here? Okay.
What's up, everyone?
How you guys out there in the chat doing?
The coast to coast out there, JSK. Bye, guys. What's up,
Stefan from the Flyby guys.
Hey.
Which, by the way,
Matt, what's up?
Matt Gundiff, how are you, bro?
Matt Gundiff, how are you? I wanted to say something really quick about Stefan and the guys over there with the HoloLens.
Michael McReynolds, how are you?
Microsoft seems to be interested. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stefan. I saw you
based
the hashtag for the HoloLens.
Based on it, it's based on that hardware platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
based on the hardware platform.
If you can put your name, if you can put Microsoft name behind something, it'll sell. It'll definitely sell. That's for sure.
Okay. Good. We're looking forward to good things there. Good things with Anarchy. Good things.
Yes, and
keep a good thought.
Stefan seems to be their like stand-in step model because every time I see he's modeling the goggles looking this way. He's got the goggles.
Look. Here's all I'm going to say. Stefan stepped in it. Okay, so this is a good pile to step in, right? When it comes to stepping in. Okay, so this is a good one. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see the technology realized. So, that's what we're looking forward to. So stay tuned, guys, because hopefully we get a couple of inside tracks here and we can relay them to you.
Well,
I'm very excited, though. Very excited to see.
But we have
other than Geeks Vana, Stefan, we want dibs first in the United States, man.
Don't worry, dude. We're working on it. You
can come back on. It's no problem. We want dibs. We're calling shotgun right now.
I'm already working those back channels for those guys. Okay, don't worry. We got it worked out here.
What's up, Mike? Flies on drones.
I like that T-shirt.
Definitely call a shotgun.
Well, look, depth of field is all relative, especially when you get older. Depth of field, right? I mean, so.
Good morning, feet on the ground, man. All the way from Australia.
Did you see the T-shirt, Lawrence?
Huh?
Did you see Tom's T-shirt?
I see the numbers, but that's it.
That's the focusing ring on. That's on your depth of field ring on your lens. That little cutout window on the lens. Yeah. That's what that is.
Okay.
Herman, we got to keep some of these things inside. He's got to reach for them in the future. Okay. I was going to say, this is Lawrence's temperature right now as it continues to go up a little. Okay. You'll need that Tylenol. Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good, actually.
He's
good. Glad to hear it.
But I'm good right now. But when my wife comes in, and it's and it's time to do the dishes, all of a sudden I'm feeling lightheaded. I have to go have a beer and sit down. Could you
Dude,
do the
those guys are the
Disney?
whiniest. But first off, we're the whiniest bunch anyway. Come on. They got our number.
I
They
told you
got
how
our
to,
number already, man, and they stayed married to us. Okay,
I told you how to
that's
do it,
called
Lawrence.
that's called sainthood, man.
Hold on a
That's
second.
sainthood.
Feet on the ground wants me to say hello to his wife, Sue. How are you, Sue? You
Hey,
keeping
Sue.
Rob in check, I hope.
Good deal.
Every time he act up, just grab him by that ear. You know, you're the only one that could get away with that. Eddie Nunez.
Eddie, what's up, man? But you know what,
What's
Lawrence? I
up,
told you
Eddie?
how to get out of
How are you,
that.
How
brother?
the hell is everyone
up?
out there? Click that like button, please.
Yes, feel free.
We
Yeah.
feel free to do that.
Yeah.
You know, Lawrence, I told you how to get
And
out
if
of
we
that.
can get up to 12 in the next 2 minutes, we'll stay on. Okay, let's go. Hey, 12, go. Go. Shooting
Yeah,
high,
right.
you guys.
Come on, we need
Shooting
four
high.
more.
Keep
Four
us
more
on.
likes, man.
Okay.
Paul
It's only
Murray, how are you, sir?
Only
Hey, Mr.
119
Murray,
seconds left, guys. Come on, man.
Forbidden for
how
Pump the
you
forbidden
doing,
magic there.
Paul?
12 likes, man, or else we're going off the air.
Well, one of those were
What's
mine.
up, Paul?
Hey Herman, you still have Billy Kyle's phone number?
Wow,
Tell him
that's
we
true.
cancel the stream if we can't get 12 likes.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking to him.
Feet on the ground. We always see you know you're in the game when you know who the boss is. Okay. If you don't know who the boss is and you still think it's you, you haven't been in the game for a while.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my boy Rob from Australia. I've known him for now
Good deal,
at
Rob.
least 10 years, easy. Yeah. Hey, show, what's good? How are you? But I'm glad you keep him in check, Sue. You're the only one that can do it. I know that for a fact. But while Rob's a handful.
What's up, Joe?
But you know, you guys know that throughout, well, since we've been doing this, you know, it started out as just like a hangout and guys just hung out and chit chat and shoot the breeze and run jokes and stuff like that. And then became where that we started talking about these things. And it's funny, I was mentioning to Lawrence earlier, it's like, you know, we talked about so many things in the, you know, the drone industry, whether it be consumer or commercial, you know, whether it be, you know, even in the search and rescue, you know, we've talked about so many different things with these drones, even the taxi industry, and where they're thinking about
Did
this.
someone say E-Hang? Did
Up,
someone
up.
say
Here we
E-Hang?
go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Man, we
There
need
we
to
Stock
see
go.
just
people.
dropped. That stock
just
just
got
dropped another
sponsored.
4 cents.
People
just
put
got
their
some
bid in
sponsored.
for airworthiness for vehicles
Yeah.
to fly. You know, talking about urban air
Michael.
mobility has become a word now. And you know, what's the thing now that's amongst us all now with this? We're now looking at remote ID, and we're going to be looking forward. I know we're all looking forward to the UTMs and stuff like that.
Well, the great thing about this community, Herman, is the fact that it's always about sharing, right?
Mhm.
So we start out as a hangout. We start out as, you know, this is the corner bar, basically, right?
Yeah.
And we
You
start
see what
sharing
Paul-
those ideas and sharing the opinions, and you know. So the other thing is, you know, that you turn around and it morphs into something else. But then again, what are our meetups? Right? Same thing, same philosophy. We get together, it's a hangout, but we start, you know, the second a couple of us get together that share, you know, a common passion, it becomes a thought fest, a learn fest,
True.
you know.
True.
So
That's true.
what's the Paul Murray
He says,
rumor?
I heard there's a rumor that you plan to ambush Billy Kyle with Philly Drone Life added to the show. And I was like,
Dude, I can't take that
put,
level of energy,
I put
bro.
number, and then I put Philly Drone Life don't want nobody else on his live stream.
Dude, you can't keep up with the guy. Okay? Can't keep up with the guy. So,
Yeah,
guys,
so,
I gotta just
Mikey's a handful. Yes, he is.
but yeah, so yeah. So, you know, Lawrence, we talked about so many different things here. You know, we discussed so many different topics and shared with, you know, people in the community, and people even in the chat has shared stuff with us that we weren't aware with. You know, we've had, you know, drone worship come into the chat and share information. We got a lot of guys come in and share information.
Right.
Guys from other countries. We've met a lot of guys in this industry. You know,
Hmm.
no, this
Around
is
the world,
no, this is
internationally.
no, this is not my farewell show, but I'm just recognizing the fact that we've we've seen so much happen in a short space of time in this drone industry, and
Hold on.
you know what happened.
We have an announcement here. Recovery One Drone says, I came in here today with my head feeling ashamed. Herman's fall from Phantom Grace is such a burden. Meaning you stepped over
No,
the
you see
world of,
who's up on the shelf, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He got the Mavic down in
You
a
see,
corner on the side, right over here, you know?
you see who's up on the
Or is it
shelf.
over here? Someone
Well,
give
actually,
Herman
it's over
the
here.
tissue. No, trust me. It
It's
Herman got,
actually over here. No,
he
no.
said
What I was saying is that.
yeah, go
Mhm.
ahead. Go
Well, no,
back.
I'm saying we've met so, like I said, we met so many guys, that come into the chat. We've met guys in other live streams. We've gone to other live streams, and we're all united by this drone. By drones. Whether it be FPV or what we all call camera drones, and we're
Right.
seeing changes happen, and we're seeing a lot of changes happen. And like I said before, we all know that remote ID is here, and we're looking. I hope we're all looking forward to the UTMs that are coming. But we've seen things happen in the commercial industry as well. We've seen stuff like cargo drones.
Yeah.
We've seen people making bids for airworthiness for small delivery, for small size deliveries, for drone
Hmm.
delivery.
Some people
What's up,
expanding their
Golden?
business. Some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
expanding.
and we've seen this here. We've seen it even overseas, and everyone is like I said, here in the United States, everyone is searching for that airworthiness from the FAA to get it done. And tonight we're gonna have Billy Kyle come on and hang out with us. We're gonna discuss, what's the future in this, with drones, both commercial
What's his
and
take on it?
and consumer.
Yeah, what's his take on
Right.
it?
I'm interested to know as well because Herman and I
Well,
we sometimes we sit and brainstorm or just in general conversation. It's like DJI has pretty much the drone market covered. And now the fact that they're going to be getting into autonomous cars, specifically using sensors, their sensors. I'm
But
interested to see where DJI turns as well.
see, I think this is a good thing. I'm a big fan of competition. Okay. So that puts competition squarely on some of the big names that are out there today, right? Some
mhm.
big names in the car industry out there are already doing the electric.
Gotta make
And
these
there are
things.
already companies out there. Look, you wouldn't have the iDrive systems you have today without companies out there with some significant sensor capability.
True.
But this is great. Competition's great. I just want to see it on the other side of the track as well, on the drone side of the track, right?
Hmm.
Because right now, if you're
Hey,
looking at
Michael,
DJI, you're capturing like 70 something percent of the
those
market
are
share
you.
on the consumer side of the fence.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. You can't say the same on the commercial side of the fence,
not
Right.
but
yet.
remember how many verticals there are on the commercial side. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's not one size drone fits all. Like on the consumer side, you got your starter drone, your mid-level drone, your prosumer drone, your I call myself a pro drone. Okay. So
Right.
you got that range right there. And on the consumer side, you can build that product line for a wide market. Not so quick on the commercial side of the fence.
Yeah,
There's a
true.
lot of adaptation that has to take place, a lot of reconfiguration for specific industry use. Yeah, you can use similar platforms, but I think there's a lot more competition on the commercial side of the fence, with especially now, right, Herman, with the larger platforms that are seeking airworthiness
Right.
certificates, not
Exactly.
even to carry passenger, but for cargo use.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah,
so that's something to think about there.
because you have companies, that like we all talked about before that are already making, electric planes like Pipistrel. Pipistrel
And it's
jumped
been
into
doing
it.
it for a while. This
Right,
isn't new for them. Right.
exactly. And they jumped
Yeah,
right
but
into this.
this is crazy. I
And
actually have the video loaded. Herman, you got to share, man.
oh, excuse me,
You got
man.
to
I'm
turn
sorry.
sharing on. I had the video loaded. I heard Pipistrel, and I was ready to cue it up. And
You know,
it,
you know, Pipistrel has jumped into the game with, the Nuva, was that the V300? And they've partnered up with Honeywell to pretty much operate this thing, sensors, the whole brains behind the
Yeah.
movements of this
Yeah.
thing, for the navigation and the navigation, everything with this. So we've seen a lot of things come up in the future, the short space of time, and we're seeing this evolve. And a lot of people, like I said before, don't believe that this will ever take off, but a lot of money is being spent.
Take
yeah,
off.
they're
As
not
you said,
spending all
take
this
off.
money for nothing.
A
I'm
lot of
letting you
money
know
is
right
being spent.
now.
Yeah, well, look,
They're not spending all that
evolution. It's
for nothing.
evolution, man. And here we have a breakthrough in the aviation industry with evolution. You're taking a lot of cost out of an operation here. You can put that back into the technology
Mhm.
and get a significant windfall as a result. Now, you'll get some crossover between the prosumer side of the fence and the somewhat enterprise level side of the fence, where your, say, mom and pop operations
Right.
operate in that zone. And of course, as the equipment gets more expensive, it kind of limits the size of the business that participates in that industry. So you'll have that mid-size and large scale, and you'll have the full-blown logistics companies that really are going to drive this market the way I see it right now, because it's going to be the big logistics players in the game, the FedExes, the UPSs, the DHLs in the market
Mhm.
that are going to drive this. Okay. Plus Walmart, okay, Amazon, Target, and every other retailer that finds another outlet in
Right.
which to
Right.
make that delivery
True.
and get that sale. And at first, look, drone delivery will be a novelty, like everything, like the car was a novelty.
Hmm. Well,
Okay.
it's funny you mentioned the drone delivery. We first saw, what was it? Matternet got there, was the first one to become the first drone uh, airline to see their
To get that cert.
airworthiness in the
Yeah. The airworthiness cert. Yeah.
here in the United States. And they kicked off that program with Dr. Gwen and UPS
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
over at Wake Med Hospital in North Carolina. And this
Yeah.
has been going now for a couple of years now. So,
Is it,
and
look,
now
we can't
UPS is
dispute it's proven.
expanding.
Right. We can't dispute it's proven anymore. I can't see how the market can say otherwise. At this point, you're well on the way. Like I said, this is evolution we're building upon. There are going to be more and more airframes that meet the FAA standard. So there'll be more and more choices for businesses to adopt. And you'll probably have a couple of segments of the market. You'll have some big players that will emerge out there, I believe, that will provide these services, much like the large trucking companies that exist out there, or the air courier services that already exist out there. So you'll have those that support a large amount of the industry. And of course, you'll have the big players.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have the smaller operators and the humanitarian efforts and the public safety efforts. And, so those are going to be, I think, a tiered platform. But on the consumer side of the fence, it's faster drone, more immersive experience, better camera, and easier way to get that product out of the camera and off to my family and friends and consumers of my content. So those are really your two markets right there, right?
Okay.
And we've covered a lot of stories on both sides of those.
Oh, sure.
A lot.
We've even seen, like, we talk about software and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
when you talk about major players, you know, talking about major players, we got a major player here tonight with us in the drone world, and he should be coming in very shortly. Billy Kyle.
Okay.
We want
So Billy, if you're not subscribed to Billy, I don't know what you're doing here. Okay. If you're not already subscribed to Billy, I think you're in the wrong room right now with those guys. Okay.
What's up?
Hey Billy, welcome, man.
How's it going, Billy?
I'm in the car out working. Hopefully you guys
Hey,
don't mind.
hey,
I'm like
Bill.
your
There you go.
correspondent.
Hey, Bill, I like the new
Thanks
office.
for coming in.
Yeah, it's my mobile office.
I love the
Right.
office with the skylight, man.
Yeah. How you guys been? It's been a long time.
Yes, man.
Hanging
Yes,
in
Not
there,
bad,
getting
man.
better.
we're good, man. Thanks for coming in as usual. For
Yeah,
those
thank
who
you.
don't know, Billy is one of those guys from way back.
Yeah, Billy was on with us when
Absolutely.
we really first got started.
Hey,
Yep.
Herman, I hear you're on the dark side now on Team Mavic.
No,
You know, he broke the Mavic Cherry there.
you know what it is?
Okay. We got to change the channel name even. I believe
Mavic
there's a
Flight
requirement
101.
to
Changing
change
the
the channel
channel.
name.
We're not changing the channel. we're not changing the channel. It seemed like the right buy for the drone that was out now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I think for where you guys live, you know,
Mhm.
OcuSync 2 is great, but that O3
Oh,
transmission
03,
system,
right? The quad
oh,
antennas.
dude, it is such a game changer.
Yeah.
In all my videos, I've been talking about O3, and I feel like I'm talking it to death, but it's such an upgrade. I don't think that there is any software upgrade. I think it's the 4 antennas that are making it the big difference.
That's my take on it too, because I think it's really suited for urban flyers.
Oh yeah.
Because of the level of interference we get. I mean, you don't even turn it on, you're already getting an interference message.
Yeah, right.
So, that's why I think the quad
Like-
antennas. The only thing that it falls short on I think this is the holdback here is the dual IMU and compass, which I think, of course, is what you see on the pro side of the fence, or what we will probably learn that it's called the Pro 3 at some point. Okay.
It kind of scares me that
If Billy doesn't already have one, by the way, guys. Okay. If Billy's not already testing one. Okay.
Nothing in the pipeline, but I can say that I'm working on like a wish list video right now of things that I want to see. I'm working with 50 drones on one, and there's a couple of things that I really want to see from that drone to make it a little bit more professional. One of them would be like dual card slots. That would be beautiful.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's going back to, I mean, if you're a pro photographer, of course, that's what you're looking for in your camera body.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Peace of mind. It's also, if you're able to segregate your content across cards, there's a lot you can do with it. A lot you can do with
Hey,
that.
Billy.
Yeah.
You mind if I ask you a question?
No, what's up?
About a month ago, you put something out there, and I'm like, he either knows something or he's trying to start to talk back up. And on Twitter, you put these 3 words: Phantom 5 inevitable. What was behind that?
Because
What was behind that?
I think that
Trying to
right
start
now,
some shit, man. We already calmed down from it, and you put something
It's
like
a
that.
platform that should not die.
I totally agree. I think the Phantom has more than enough space to grow and to continue to be a viable option inside of the drone platform, inside of the drone industry.
Even on the enterprise side.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
That's where it's gone.
see, I think that the Phantom 5 is just almost a joke at this point because like I made a Phantom 5 wish list video back in 2016 when I was graduating from high school, and now here I've graduated from college, and they still haven't released a Phantom 5. So I think it's just a joke at this point, and I play on that joke.
Yeah.
But if you look at DJI's lineup, they just have the Mavic. They're very one-sided. And they kind of branch off with like FPV drone and Inspire, but there's this massive gap between the highest end Mavic and the Inspire. I mean, it's a huge gap.
Huge,
So
huge.
I would like to see them build out the Phantom lineup and the Inspire lineup like they've built out the Mavic lineup. So they have these different drones for different flyers, and they kind of meet everybody's needs. But then it's like they have just the Phantom for just that one person, and they have just the Inspire for just that one person.
Right.
But what if they made different versions of the Inspire and different versions than the
Well,
or
that's
different versions of the Phantom?
that's a great point, because look, with technology today, we know what happens with technology, right? Miniaturization.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's what drives a lot of it, right?
Mhm.
So look at where we are with the 2S compared to a Mavic 2 Pro and the capabilities, which you've
True.
already spoken about, Billy. But imagine taking an Inspire and shrinking it, making it more nimble, okay,
Mhm.
able to carry a heavier platform, which means a more capable camera platform,
Mhm.
and give us the flexibility we want to be able to use the right lens for the right job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Look,
you know what? No,
With follow focus, with with the
exactly.
ability to manage the aircraft, and we're getting to a point where being fully immersive in an environment
Mhm.
is pretty suitable to framing your shot. So as the photographer, especially on a platform like that, as a photographer, man, I want a set of goggles on to operate that camera. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still
Or
the guy with the massive screen on the back of my mirrorless camera that has his eye stuck to the viewfinder.
yeah, I do the same thing.
you know
I got to
what?
live there. That's
So-
that's the only place I can frame my shot.
What
Mhm.
happened,
When
Herman?
you're talking about making the Inspire smaller, one of the things we spoke on before, we talked about batteries, and batteries seem to be getting smaller and smaller, and that would be the main key to making something like the Inspire smaller, because half of it is the batteries.
Yeah.
And you could
Absolutely.
actually make that platform, that front end, a drone without the big old batteries on the back. If you can find a way to make those batteries.
Well, remember, everything on the aircraft contributes to the need for those batteries, right? The
Yeah.
more weight you put on the
Right.
aircraft, the more
Exactly.
power you need to create the thrust, and the larger motors you need. But now remember that once you start shaving that weight, the motor requirement can go down as well. But battery technology is the key there, Herman. You're right on the money. It's where everything is leading at this point. But you think about it, here we go again. What, the minis have a battery problem?
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many videos I sent to DJI about my Mavic 2 Pro batteries to finally they
Oh, they're
compensated me for those. And then
They're
I wound
terrible.
up with a shitload of batteries because, it is ridiculous. It really is. And not to get in front of it. And that's part of my problem with the company, and I'm sorry, Billy, I'm a DJI fanboy. Okay. But what really irks me is the fact that you don't get in front of something like that. When we know full well you don't make the batteries. It's a supply chain issue.
Mhm.
Get in front of it.
Right.
Tell us that. Let us know what we can do to
And
cure it.
The issue is still going on because, like, even when you buy batteries right now, they've got the potential of swelling. So that's one of the reasons in my video why I told people to go buy the Air 2S, because you've got this great drone with so many upgrades, and it's like, oh yeah, that battery issue that the Mavic 2 Pro is having that you're going to have to deal with in 6 months if you're a heavy flyer,
Right.
you're not going to have to replace all 4 of the batteries that you have.
Exactly. And at the cost of these batteries, right? At 150 a clip, you don't want to. I mean, the cost of your batteries is starting to rival the cost of the actual drone itself.
Yeah. After
Okay.
you
I own 5 batteries for my DJI FPV drone.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
The
you own
good
2
thing about
DJI
it.
FPV drones.
Yeah.
You own 2 DJI FPV drones.
Oh, okay. So I got a good question for you. Why is DJI withholding the compatibility of the goggles and the motion controller when it's been reported that there was that capability during the release of the reviewers product? So
Yeah. So I wonder why as well. I haven't gotten like an official answer on what the exact reason was. I would say that if you look at if you look at the difference between what the Air 2S and what the FPV drone is, I think the motion controller works so well because of what the FPV drone is, and how nimble it is. I don't know if I'd like flying the Mavic I don't know if I'd like flying the Air 2S with the motion controller. I'd probably fly it and I'd see that the experience was much worse than what I got on the FPV drone and never use it again. But I don't think that that's a reason not to include it, because if somebody just has the Air 2S, they're going to think that it's maybe the best thing, since sliced bread. So I don't have a specific answer on that. If I had to take a guess, I think it's one of those things where, like, in a month or two from now, after the Air 2S isn't all the talk, they're going to add it, and then it gets added back into the news cycle. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of being held on to as one of the
right.
Yeah.
Increase sales.
And I'm going to tell you one good reason why it should be introduced sooner than later is because I found that the motion controller kind of opens up this community to a few more people.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's an immersive experience.
I thought it was going to be a total gimmick, and I flew with it, and I was
Me too.
I was floored, because at first it was one of those things. I still think, like, you should get the drone and then maybe wait to get the motion controller and maybe buy some extra batteries at first. But I think
understand the drone.
If you have the FPV drone, I think it's like an absolute must buy at some point in time, because it's like you can fly the FPV drone with your remote controller, but have an entirely different experience with that motion controller. It
really is.
It's so great.
I flew the ridges of Red Rock Canyon with it.
Provided you can use the motion controller, provided you have full motion of your wrist.
Dude, I can scratch my nose and use the motion controller while I'm shooting a gap on Red Rock Canyon Ridge. Okay, so I love the damn thing. It's a blast.
I had my girlfriend try it out, and it was very intuitive right off the bat. She knew how to fly it. She was flying better with the motion controller than with the stick. So I think that everybody has that. Oh, I just moved to the left and it goes to the left. Okay, like, it's a really easy way to start. Now,
and it takes the frustration out of, you got camera drone flyers that are going from that controller over to this controller and thinking that left stick does the same things it was doing before, or for that matter, both sticks. But you put that motion controller in their hand, and they're right there.
Yep.
But the other point was, it definitely expands the community that way, but it also expands the community to those that have physical challenges as well. I have a friend. He lost his arm, and he's a geek. I mean, he's got an electric bike. The computers are ridiculous. He wants to fly a drone. And this is where I think it can happen. That's why I would love to see it on a camera drone platform, which is a lot more milder and meeker. Then I was reluctant in handing him the FPV drone for the first time in the motion controller, so I think it should be released as a firmware upgrade at some point in time.
Look, I think you're absolutely right. I think that just from the standpoint of accessibility, I think that that's huge, because it opens up the door to a lot of people that just physically can't fly using the remote controller. And above all, it's just a different experience that's a ton of fun. I can't say for a fact that it's not as good on the Mavic Air 2 or the Air 2S, because I haven't tried it out, and I don't know. I hope that they add it, and I hope that they kind of change the controls of it in a sense, so that you can it's more geared towards a camera drone, so they change the operation of it a little bit in the software.
Let me manipulate my gimbal,
Yeah.
Or let me use that selector switch.
So I think that it'll change a little bit, but I think that it's one of those things that will eventually become like a standard for all of their drones moving forward. Like, it's just like the smart controller. It's just going to work with the motion controller. And I think that they have that in the back of their mind. There's just something holding them back, because the FPV drone, like, it's not branded as DJI FPV drone motion controller. It's just motion controller. Just like smart controller is just smart controller. So
that leaves it universal.
Exactly.
Universal.
Well, it was a huge relief,
have you tried it with the 2S?
No, I didn't end up trying. It was available in the beginning with like early versions of the beta, and then it was taken out. During that period, I didn't get the chance to try it out using the motion controller. But I find that it probably, again, wouldn't be as good of an experience as it is with the FPV drone. But I think that
tweak it.
it's still there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder if
until they
there's something
tweak
that
it, I
they
think.
found. I
Every
wonder if
man,
there's something that they found where they were like, oh, we
And
need
it
to
could
wait.
be they needed to focus their efforts,
someone asked a
on
question
getting the
real quick.
product out. So,
What
Someone
happened?
asked a question concerning can the motion controller, can it control the drone in manual mode?
Nah,
no, it cannot.
I don't think you'd want
No,
that.
I
That'd be
would
kinda
not
scary.
recommend that.
No, no,
Well,
No,
um,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. I don't. You'd have to
the
keep your hand up.
you know, I think that what was I gonna say?
I would say if you were double jointed, maybe, but I would
Yeah, right.
recommend against it. Okay.
Double jointed.
So
Yeah.
you guys, I was listening to you guys before I jumped on here, and you were talking about like what's the future of drones, and I think that there's two futures, two big things that are really going to happen. I think one, autonomy is really going to take over. I'm talking like better than Skydio level autonomy with
Right.
these drones.
Right.
What DJI is doing in their drones, I'm sure that like they're working on something that's really awesome. But what's available right now in their consumer drones, it's just it's really not all that good. I tried to do one of those point of interest orbit shots of like a really big construction site the other day, and I was just so unimpressed with how it worked.
Yeah.
It just like totally clipped off the bottom corner. So like I'm gonna keep doing it myself. And I mean, look, they're really making good strides, but I think the future is autonomy in a couple of different ways. So delivering packages autonomously, so there's no humans involved. I think that being able to film and shoot photos autonomously would be cool. And kind of on that same realm of like shooting photos and videos, think about like the options for surveillance using like a drone with
Absolutely.
autonomy,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
Let's say the police need to investigate a certain area from their headquarters, they can just go boop, 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 put the drone up, it'll fly there and alert them when it's there. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll
we've
start
covered a
searching
couple
the
of those
area.
stories, in
It's funny.
fact,
We've
where
talked about that.
yeah,
Like
we talked
look,
about basically a police precinct in California that's doing that right now, where they're using it for first response to get out there to provide situational awareness,
Yeah.
and whether they have to ramp up the response or slow down the response as a result
Well, hey,
of
what's
that
faster than a drone?
situational awareness. Yeah.
What's faster than a drone? I mean, a car is only able to go, in a certain direction, but a drone is like put it up
As the
and
crow
fly straight there.
flies.
Exactly.
Right. As the crow flies. Yeah. No. And you talk about that as if it's definitely going to drive the market, because when you start to look at these commercial carriers that are going to start putting up these aircraft into the sky, we're talking about unmanned aircraft in the sky, there are going to be these virtual highways that exist.
Yeah.
And that autonomy has to basically, it's going to be a highway, okay, with waypoints and with off ramps, or from the aviation side of the fence, taxiways to get you to the right terminal. And from that terminal, then it will be localized from there.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's
think about
autonomy has to play a part in that, because we won't be able to pull it off manually.
no, we won't.
yeah, I mean airspace.
I agree with Flyby Guys, Stefan from Flyby Guys over across the pond. He says humans will always be involved in autonomy.
Yes, that's true.
Because
Yeah.
there's certain
But-
laws they're not going to pass that they're going to
Well, Stefan,
without
let me
human
qualify.
intervention.
Let me qualify that statement by saying, hope so. Okay.
But what I think
When we're not, we got a problem, dude.
I think that it's just going to make the work easier in a sense, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
yes, there will
More
always be that
efficient.
person, and so like self-driving trucks, for example. Like I don't think there's ever going to be a day where there's just trucks roaming out there by themselves. At least not even in my lifetime. I
They're
don't think
already
there's
out
gonna be
there,
trucks.
Billy.
Look,
They're out.
but what I'm saying is I don't think that there's going to be trucks driving by themselves with no passenger. I think that there's always going to be a passenger there, but those self-driving systems are then going to make their job easier. So we could see, in a sense, rather than, okay, there's one truck and then there's a convoy system of other autonomous trucks following that truck. So
Possibly,
it's going
right,
to make
right.
the workload of a single person easier. So I think that autonomy is huge. That's the one area that obviously is really booming within the drone industry. But just like we were talking, everything getting smaller. So I actually just partnered up with a dealer in Jersey, Geomobile, Anatom Geomobile Solutions is their name.
Okay.
They got a long name, and they gave me the Enterprise Advanced. So I literally just got that the other day, and seeing the resolution of that camera compared to what I remember the dual camera gave. Oh my
Yes.
God,
Yeah. It's
worlds
amazing,
better.
right?
Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like putting on glasses. It's like,
Right. Right.
whoa.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Well,
those reveal videos when they put on the color glasses for the first time. Right. Yeah.
when you
Exactly.
when you talk
Exactly.
about things getting smaller, and I was talking with Lawrence, and I said to him, I said, I think that sub 250 level drone is going to take off. It's gonna be a bigger market than what it is right now in the future, because the average guy that's going to run in the store to buy a drone, think about how much better and better that drone is going to get.
Oh yeah,
That
and
level,
Oh, please.
we
It'll fly out of the store for them.
you
Okay.
know.
we've seen it.
I remember when, like I was saying to Lawrence, I remember when the Camry was not, a big car for Toyota. It was like the second car to get for Toyota. Now it's the big car for Toyota, and they've moved on to something else for their higher end models. So, and everything else that was there trickles down to the lower end.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
Well, yeah, feature sets. Yeah, absolutely. What
look at-
was pro is today prosumer, tomorrow it's
right.
consumer. Right? Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, I'm always in that position where I think to myself, what can they do on the next drone
Right.
or anything, next drone, next phone, next car? What can they do? Because I feel like we've gotten to the point with the Mini 2 now where they've given us everything we've wanted. Like I really can't think of one complaint about the Mini 2 for what type of drone it is, other than maybe the fact that it doesn't have obstacle avoidance sensors. So they could add one little sensor on the front of that drone for the next release for a Mini 3. But like, what else could they do to make that thing better? I seriously can't think of anything.
Again, the only thing they
can
can
make it
really do is
cycling.
to bring it down to about 190 grams.
Oh, 03,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh,
Well,
free, and
well,
it already comes caged, so you can fly it over people. Okay.
Comes with a little
It'll be
parachute.
their category 1 drone. Boom. There you go.
oh,
Out
I'm
of the
telling
box.
you, when OcuSync 50 is there, your drone will be taken off out of the palm of your hand and you pulled out of your pocket.
I'm gonna be sitting here in the United States, and my drone in England is gonna be taken off.
Yeah, except I think the U.S. military might have a problem with that, Billy.
Yeah. Well, I think that data connectivity is also going to be another big thing with 5G. I think that 5G is going to be, play a pretty big role in these autonomous drones, because they obviously
Absolutely.
all have to talk to each other in a sense. And I think that, from an operator standpoint, we could use 5G as a potential failsafe if OcuSync cuts out. So there's times where there's just strong interference, and I can see my drone 500 feet away, but I'm getting that interference for one reason or another. And if that interference for some reason gets to a point where I can't fly my drone anymore, there could be that 5G connection that kicks in as a backup. And sure, there might be more latency, but that's at least something that I can use to get the drone back to me.
And
So
it's
that's
not
one
a
huge
total
thing.
loss of signal then.
Right, but look at
Yeah.
the situation. Right. So let's take a look at the ground control station for a Phantom, or
Mhm.
for that matter, for the Matrice platform, right? So you're actually using that cell network to increase the accuracy
Yeah.
of your positioning. And now when we use it in the city, we're using it so our drone isn't moving around a lot. Okay. But that RTK system, that's going to evolve. And with 5G, what you gain from 5G, forget about the speed. Okay. It's the bandwidth.
Mhm.
It's really
Right.
how many different lanes of traffic can come across it at one time. And that means you'll have control signals always broadcasting. It's much like flying a manned aircraft and your VOR, and you can hone in on where your ground stations are. Okay. Same thing's going to happen here. And you'll be handing off your transmission as you go from one cell site to another to another. So when we talk about range, it's going to be ridiculous for
I
those
know.
open sky flyers, right? Okay, yeah, I sent my drone out 40 miles, and and when the battery technology comes to play, they won't have to drive 20 miles to go get it. But in the urban environment, we might be able to fly around the building
Yeah.
instead of trying to fly over it. And when you talk about like public safety for fire service, You can't always fly over a building in Manhattan. They're kind of high.
That's
Okay,
true.
so
Yeah, right.
and you'll lose a signal real quick.
Yeah.
So that's where I see the 5G network, Billy, really coming into play. Okay?
Totally. And hopefully with that some lax rules from the FAA so we can fly out of line of sight and do things like that. But I totally agree with you. I think that these newer versions of OcuSync that we see, I'm not all that I'm not all that impressed with like the range because it only goes up by a little bit each time, but I'm more
Mhm.
impressed by just the general connectivity of it when I'm a
Signal
1,000 feet away.
penetration and
Yeah.
connectivity. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
That
big time.
that's where the real
Yeah.
upgrade is made, which you don't see on paper, so it's not really highlighted. But
Right.
when you fly the drone just for the first time, you're like, yeah, this is different. Like this feels a lot
Right.
better.
So Lawrence, one thing you're going to see with this 5G and beyond, huge levels of beyond visual line of sight. I bet you at some point in time there's going to be a drone impound lot. Okay. When your drone wanders into places it's not supposed to, it auto lands in the impound lot, and
That
you
would
start
be hilarious.
building
Oh,
up
no
tickets
problem.
after 30 days. Okay.
Yeah, it'll probably
You
be
got to
out
pay
in
your
Red Hook.
storage fees, show
Could
your
you
proof of
imagine, though?
insurance.
It'll probably be out in Red Hook.
Dude, it'll be another revenue grab. Okay. So,
No,
hey,
it'll be a platform that hovers up there in the sky and it just goes and it lands on top of that platform.
the aerial
right.
aircraft carrier. Yes. Wasn't that in one of the Marvel movies? Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Flying
so
aircraft carrier, yeah.
to your point about these highways and the sky, what I think is really good is that the sky is 3D, like the airspace is 3D, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can have different levels for different types of drones,
Mhm.
different maybe different missions. So if it's urgent, it's going to be lower to the
Priority
ground. If it's
lane,
package
right.
delivery.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
there's
priority
gonna
lane.
we have all of this room up there, which is good. But with all of that room, I hope that they remember the people like us who just like to go out and fly. I mean, look, just give us under 400 feet. I'll keep it. I don't want any more.
Give me under 400. Give me 400 feet, and give me 400 feet within obstacles, and let me maintain a 400-foot
Yeah.
altitude above those. And DJI, can I have a little more than 1,640 feet, please?
Or
Okay.
hey, how about
I'm
this?
getting old. I can only hike so high.
Yeah. How about this? Give us 400 feet underneath of these highways that they propose. But then when your drone tells it you're outside of these highway zones, give us that room to fly up where there's definitely not going to be anybody above. I mean, I think that with
You got to
autonomy
give
and
us some capability, right?
Non-transitional space is
Yeah,
basically what you're
with
talking about.
I think that the FAA is overly careful in a sense where a near miss could be, hundreds of feet away or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that as autonomy continues to get better and as technology continues to get better, that we can start to kind of squeeze that space together, right? I mean, you're driving on the road and you're on a 4-lane highway and you're like directly next to the person, right there. So I think that,
True.
there is a little bit of margin to consider up in the air with wind and stuff like that. But I think that as we can potentially designate these highways, we can say, look, your drone is going to know when you're underneath of this highway, and your drone is only going to give you 400 feet, which is okay. But if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, let me fly up to 1,600 feet if there's no highway there, right? Give me that freedom.
Right. Well, if we started driving cars today,
hold on. The views and opinions heard tonight, not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat. I feel better
Billy, we're still not an LLC, so we got problems there.
now.
But no, but basically, look, if we started driving cars today, they'd make all the cars, have bubble wrap around them.
That's what I've been
And we'd
telling
only be able to
Lawrence.
take them out during certain hours, okay?
Nerf and plastic.
Right. So, but the one thing I have to tell, any of the FAA haters out there, they've kept us out of the shits, out of harm's way for the last 62 years. Okay. Let's not forget that. Now, what I'm really concerned about is the corporate involvement in carving up the airspace, right?
Yep.
So, that's where I run scared. And I'm worried as a photographer, am I going to go out there and get my shots, or is, Frito-Lay is going to own that airspace? Okay. And this is part of the problem, that there needs to be a lot more transparency. And there actually needs to be a hell of a lot more participation on the drone advisory committee from the recreational side. And how about the common Joe instead of the AMA, which might not always have
Yep.
the wider interest of their membership. Okay.
True.
You
I
know,
agree with
flying in
that.
a circle is great if you fly RC fixed wing aircraft.
Yeah, let's head
Right.
out to the park and just fly our Mavic and let it hover there.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll make
That's
that
not what
thing
I bought
you
it
know,
for.
$70.
So, you know, but here in New York, Billy, we can go fly at Flushing Meadows, right next to the site of the 1964 World's Fair. But we better not leave that 200-foot radius.
Yeah,
Okay.
that circle.
Yeah, especially
And we
within
can't go
2
200
radius of
feet
the airport.
above ground. Right. Although we can see aircraft landing about 1,000 feet above us. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing. Okay.
Have you been there in New York, Billy?
No, I
So
never have.
next
It's the
time you
fairest
come,
part.
it's
Billy,
the
we'll
one of
get
the
you up
best
here with Eddie.
experiences ever you could have because of the fact that it's an AMA registered field, and you see planes landing and taking off within thousands of feet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
It's a fixed site.
registered
It's a
AMA
fixed
field.
site.
They come
during
right
the
in over the
summertime-
airfield.
During the summertime, I hope, you know, definitely pre-COVID, we had dragon boat races
Yeah,
on the lake,
in the
on
same
Okay.
park.
Meadow Lake. So, you know, not a bad spot, a good place for a meetup. But
Yeah.
yeah, we plan on getting together this summertime. You know, I was talking to Eddie Nunez. We'll definitely. I missed
Absolutely.
Croton, man. I went out to Southern Nevada. The last time I saw you was at Teardrop.
Oh
in,
yeah, with Ken,
Bayonne.
right? When Ken
Yeah,
was there
with Xavier. Remember wearing his orange jumpsuit? Yeah, remember?
with the Sky.
Oh,
That was the Skydio
oh,
It was
one.
by the first Skydio. The first Skydio. Yeah.
Oh
The
man,
first
that drone
Skydio.
looked terrible. It looked horrible.
Oh, that was.
He
I
had
thought
this-
both
the
him
Skydio
and the
suit,
drone were going to go into that light pole that he was
the
running
Skydio
around, right?
suit.
And then I think we got visited by the Port Authority cops. But you did get some great footage out of that one, didn't
Oh
you?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, with the
The
Statue
shipping
of Liberty
terminal.
right there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had everything right there. Yeah.
Yep. That was a really good spot to fly.
And then the country club up on the hill there,
yes.
which a lot of people
Yeah.
miss, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
good
didn't make
spot.
that one.
The big building sitting up there on the hill was just beautiful.
That was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
that
it's-
was the country club.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a country
Country
club
club,
sitting up there. Yeah, it's a great spot over there. Yeah, but a bunch of guys got chased there last week, so Port Authority's like shutting it down over
Yeah,
there. so.
you're not gonna fly from there, but we did find out from Stevie Bronx,
Yeah.
Capture Life's Connection. He
Yeah.
said there is a path that goes behind the country club, and it's an
Stevie will
open
find
area
it.
where you can fly.
No way.
Yes,
That
that's
could
it.
even be a
Nobody
better spot.
Behind the
It's
country.
one road that goes behind the country club and goes out towards the water. So you
That
can
could even
fly the
maybe be
country
a better
club
spot.
wherever you want.
Yeah, might be a much better place to fly. Yeah, we'll find a couple of spots. Don't worry.
You got to scope it out.
Yeah.
And we're trying to
Yeah.
plan a meetup in June sometime. So we got to have you come into New
Yeah.
York. You
We'll see
haven't
what you're up to.
you've been here, but you haven't really been here, Billy.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been to one of your guys' meetups where you have like 30 people come out.
No,
You know?
no. Shh, stop it. Stop.
Well,
We'll hear you.
30 people will have to be spaced out, socially distant. Okay, so we'll make
leave a
sure
lot of
we
room.
adhere to all local requirements. Okay,
Put into place by the CDC.
absolutely, and of course by the city of New York, we have to stay current with local guidelines. And yeah, what are we thinking? We're still thinking Rainy Park, guys, right? Rainy Park is still looking good.
Rainy Park may be an issue nowadays.
It's got a
You know
lot of
what?
parking.
There's a change in airspace over there.
Check out Air Maps and Kitty Hawk on Rainy Park, Tom.
Hey, have
And,
you guys
and before you fly, let me know what it tells you.
Yeah.
have you guys flown out by the Tappan Zee Bridge? Like when you go down that
Sleepy
down that-
Hollow.
where's that? There's like it juts out right there into the river. You kind of drive down off of Route 9W.
Yeah,
And right down there, there's like the apartment buildings and stuff, and there's a walking path to the end. It's really cool.
yeah. There's a spot over there. There's also
the
what
bridge?
Lawrence just mentioned, Sleepy Hollow,
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
the original
And
Sleepy Hollow.
then there's a nice little lighthouse right there also.
Really?
That
That you can get
construction
the
is still
lighthouse
going.
Hey.
we gotta, it's called the Cuomo Bridge now because they knocked down our
I
Tappan
know.
Zee. Okay.
I
But
saw all the
Rainy
signs.
Park is no more. Rainy
Rainy
Park,
Park is no more.
0 altitude.
I'm gonna check that out, man.
Yeah,
gonna put
right
in
here,
a-
0
The
altitude.
whole of Long
gonna put
Island
in,
City is 0 altitude
We're
now.
gonna put in a Lance. And when did that stop you, Herm? We're gonna put in a Lance, okay?
Well,
See
I,
what we can
I
do
did
there.
it before it was 0 altitude.
It's crazy how things like that change. Like I know that I've flown in spots that I come back to. I'm like, what? I
You
can't
can't
fly
fly
here.
there no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know.
the steel stacks in Bethlehem here in Pennsylvania. I
Uh-huh.
went there when I like first got my drone and it was great. I mean, I was having a ton of fun, you know. And then Ken and I went there and it's not an NFZ, but it's a approach pattern, like a bow tie that
Uh-huh.
goes right through it. And
Oh,
you're
okay,
limited to
yeah,
you're limited to like 200 feet within DJI's app.
right.
And we're like, what is this? So it
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
Such a pain.
Yeah. Yeah. I know 200 foot your limit, but the stacks are probably 400 or 500 feet tall. So where does that make
they're like-
sense?
They're like 280 feet. So you're like underneath of them. And it's like, come
Yeah,
on.
that makes no sense.
Well, you
No.
know, it's funny. It recognizes the drone. The DJI's software recognizes the path that goes straight past the what's that? The Williamsburg Savings Bank downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It recognizes that, but look at how high that plane is. It's nowhere near where we're flying, and that
No, it can't be.
And guys
It
still
can't be.
go up to the top of that thing, and it's nowhere near it.
Look, the only problem you'll ever have in New York City is with helicopters. You're not going to have it with fixed wing. Okay. You'll have it with helicopters because we have way too many and they fly way too low. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny that you bring up these low flying helicopters because I've seen them more and more here in Philly, and they're like flying, really low over the Schuylkill River, and you know, it's just crazy that like the FAA says we can't fly our drones over people. Okay, but then I see these helicopters flying straight through the middle of the city, and I'm like, oh my god.
You
Like,
know what?
Yeah,
it is?
because of this mindset that imminent danger does not exist if you're sitting inside the aircraft.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. I mean,
Billy, I don't want to tell you how many helicopter crashes there have been in New York City, and
Yeah.
we only have to go back 10 years, okay, to scare you. Okay.
I read about them in the news. I see the one guy that had a heart attack in New York City. They landed on
Well, we
top
had
of
the
one
one
of the
guy who took off in soup. Okay,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
even rated
recently.
to
That
fly
was the
in that.
most recent one. He
Wasn't
took
even
off in a
rated to
fog.
fly instrument. Wound up landing on unfortunately not with everything intact or himself, 50 something stories up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that building around the corner from the DJI store.
I can understand that drones are a lot easier to obtain, so they might need to put in these more strict regulations. But even with how smart these drones are getting now, it's so hard to crash them, even if you just
Right.
buy it. And I don't know of many people that are going to be reckless with their drone that they just bought. That's $1,000. Nobody's going to want to say, "Hey, let's
Good
go
point.
take this $1,000 drone and just lose it." Like you're going to be careful with it at first, and you're going to learn about it. So
Right, exactly.
it's
Well,
annoying.
you hope, but we do. Please,
Yeah, we hope.
Well,
Billy,
That's
this is
like a-
one.
we hope.
This is one. And in fact, I was with Eddie, and we were at Flushing, and I think Eddie had just gotten the new V1 goggles at that point, and I popped on by. We were standing there, and this kid walked in, and I think he just got a new Mavic Air 2.
yeah.
But we quickly realized he had never flown a drone before because he already had the drone up in the sky. And he took his phone out of his pocket and started connecting it to the remote control. So
The ambition.
remember, instructions are tossed to the side.
Yeah.
You can only hope they watch the YouTube video. And to our audience here, we hope they watch Billy's video. Okay. So
Yeah,
You know
this
what's
is
funny
true.
that you mentioned that? DJI, when I first bought a drone, they used to put out their own tutorials so that you had
Yeah.
no problems and you didn't have to say, I don't know.
Mhm.
Now we have to
don't take
rely
business
on,
away from Billy now. Come on.
I'm not. I'm just saying we have to rely
Now
on guys
DJI
like Billy.
should just outright hire Billy to provide those.
But then I'd be
tutorial videos.
one-sided. Then I'd get an all-tail drone of people like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
that's
see your
true.
videos
Then
on
you couldn't
DJs."
stay friends with Ken. Okay.
Yeah.
That's true
What-
too.
So,
right?
What do you guys think of that new smart controller from Autel? I personally, I haven't done a lot of research on it. I'm
I
almost
haven't
just
either,
waiting
but it
to
makes
get one.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. If you're going to tout this to be a pro level
Mhm.
product,
Right.
okay, and you want to provide your user more flexibility, it's a smart way to go. Look, dude, I'm getting older, so these eyes aren't getting any better. Give me the brightest damn screen. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put a battery on a backpack, man.
Mhm.
Okay, to drive that screen if I have to. But let me see what I'm doing. And plus, Billy, come on, you pull out a smart controller and an Air 2 or an Air 2S, and you're in the sky in no time flat.
It's so fast. It's so
Right?
nice. I think that DJI really needs to come out with a smart controller too, for more reasons than one. Just because it's kind of showing its age by this
Yeah,
point.
screw me over. You know, a Crystal Sky Ultra Bright owner. Yeah, why not? You know, yeah.
Well, hey, that's
Just diminish the value of my
wait,
technology.
what,
No, I
that's
agree
a
with you.
2000. That's 2,000 nits, right?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 1,000 nits is bright. I can't even imagine what 2,000 nits is.
Look, I've had it in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
Okay. 12 noon. No problem seeing the image. The other thing is, she never
And you
shut
can
down
cook
on me.
scorpions on it.
I mean, it runs hot as hell, but it never shut down on me. Then
Right.
again, I'm not holding the screen. I'm holding the controller. But yeah, I mean, you
Hey.
bring an iPad out there, you got about 10 minutes of flying before that screen goes black on you.
To your point, real quick, you talked about a battery in a backpack. I've got this video coming out tomorrow, about this backpack called the Boost Pack, and it's actually funny. Like, I was talking with the kid, and like the kid that started the company graduated like 4 years ahead of me at a school in my district. Like, he literally lives like 15 minutes down the road, which was bizarre. But it has a battery inside of it with 2 AC outlets, and you can charge 2 Mavic batteries on one of those batteries inside of the backpack.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's crazy. So being able to run all your gear off of that is huge. I mean, I just started using it, and it's not even like a camera backpack, but
yeah,
I'm using it because it's got that battery inside of it. It's like it's such a lifesaver. But to that point, with these batteries continuing, or with these drones continuing to consume more and more power, as we're seeing all these other components get smaller and smaller really rapidly, I just wonder what this battery technology is going to be like soon, because I don't know. I mean, I feel like there needs to be a major breakthrough other than just like lithium ion, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think I think we're
too.
starting to see some of that, right?
Mhm.
With the fuel cell technology, okay, and you know, if you look at Tesla and all of that, the way they're able now to start to arbitrage power, you know, I think we're going to see much more efficient ways to manage that power, because it's those big things like that, arbitraging power from your local power company, you know, during those off-peak hours, and then using during peak. To make that really work, you have to start advancing this technology. And like
Yeah.
Herman said earlier, that stuff trickles down, right?
Yeah.
That stuff trickles down to us. You wouldn't be driving your Tesla today if they didn't improve the battery technology. Now, I don't think you have the same
True.
range anxiety, you
remember
know,
when that
people
was a
with the
major
original
issue.
S, you know, realized.
Yeah, I mean, it was
So-
like under 200 miles that they were getting on those cars.
Yeah.
Billy,
Yeah.
Billy, you have to keep in mind, you've got the latest generation of Teslas, because the going joke when Tesla first started, if you see a car on the road on fire, it's probably a Tesla.
Well, I put it this way: Tesla fires are harder to put out. Okay.
First
Than
generation,
Toyota fires.
first
They are.
generation,
Oh,
yeah.
still baking soda on it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we carry a ton of that around with us. Okay, but no, and I agree with you. The battery technology is what's really going to make the biggest difference here.
Right.
But it's going to be a breakthrough. You know, whether it's fuel cell, hydrogen. I mean, there's so many different routes that can be taken.
Mhm.
I think the most important thing is, like you said, autonomy. People come home, and we know what happened originally with the Mavic 2 batteries. People were in this mindset that nothing ever happened to their Mavic batteries. So I'm going to charge it. Oh, I'm not going out today. Oh, a week later. Oh, I'm going to top it off. I'm going to charge it and go out and fly. And I'm always going to forget to like burn batteries. I mean, you know, the FPV market, all you guys do, you got to burn batteries constantly.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and
We
now
know-
as the battery technology gets better, I mean, just look at the DJI FPV drone. Those are much more intelligent batteries.
Oh yeah.
Go into storage cycle within a day or so. And that's
Uh-huh.
what should be happening because it protects the value of your investment.
Well, they
It
actually
also
do have
protects your house from
FPV
burning down.
batteries that can
They
do that.
they do. They
And
do. I mean,
they're just a little expensive, but
Well, here's the
what?
problem, and I'll ask this honestly of Lawrence.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't when I charge my DJI FPV batteries, I have a complete confidence to go into the other room
Yeah.
to watch TV, to watch a movie. I'm
Uh,
sorry, dude. If I'm charging, 4S is sitting there on my countertop, I'm within. I want to hear something pop.
Well,
Okay, I'm in the
Oh,
same
you're
room.
right.
not do, but Herman just recently sent me an
But
article. There's a company that's coming out that's making a better
no,
light
they're out.
battery that self-discharges. That the
Oh,
charger
nice.
is a little pricey, but for the
Yeah.
price of having lipo self-discharge, like you said, I go out. If I carry 12 batteries with me and I only fly 10 of them, there's still 2 full batteries that I have to bring home and discharge. With this technology now, I won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's a fairly new company, but Herman did send me the link to it and their batteries. So I'm definitely
They're a
looking
little
to.
expensive though.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
always you're
definitely.
always trying to charge up before you go out too. You can't just have them sitting there charged the night before too,
No, no.
which is
That's
kind of a pain. I mean, my
another
biggest thing is
issue.
there's so many inconveniences that came with flying FPV that like finally now with the DJI FPV drone they solved a lot of those inconveniences, and that's why I made the jump because
Well,
it's not really the building part, but it's just like the battery part, the maintenance part.
yeah,
Right.
it's the Apple mentality, right?
But
Yeah.
I mean,
we
I'm going to control the ecosystem. I'm
yeah.
going to control, and that I think is important sometimes. I mean, look, I know I'm going to get railed by all the Android users out there. I know you can buy any phone at any tier with any feature set and all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my iPhone works, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
without trying.
Well,
So, and I
look
can
at what
hand it. I can hand it to a relative who's completely oblivious to technology and they can use it.
look
So
at
they've controlled the environment.
look
Okay.
at the benefits that come from this controlled environment, like the M1 chip in the new MacBooks. It's mind-blowingly fast in seemingly consumer level devices because these devices that have come out are not professional level. They're
Right.
updating all their consumer level computers, the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, those colorful iMacs, so all
Yeah.
of this stuff are consumer level. So just imagine when they get this thing inside of a professional level computer, it's going to be unreal.
Dude, give me an M2 chip, okay, and I'm dumping this PC, okay, and every other PC in this damn
Well, look,
room.
here's the thing. I think the M1 chip is promising, but I've definitely
Yeah.
run into issues with it.
Yeah.
My Intel-based MacBook kicked the dust as soon as the M1 came out, and I was like, all right, screw it. Let me make this jump. Let me be an
Right.
early adopter. I ran into some heartache, and I've still run into some heartache. There's still some things that have to be, ironed out. It's probably going to be a couple more years until it's running smoothly. But yeah, M2, M3, when we get to there, forget about it.
Well, look
It's
at what
crazy.
Microsoft and my GeForce high-end mega GPU RAM card don't get along with each other today. Okay, they were fine
Microsoft,
yesterday, but a
Mic-
patch was released, and today they want to have it out at my expense. So this is what can drive you crazy. And then if you put these computers in the hands of a novice, what do they expect it to do?
yeah,
But 5K video, okay, 5.6K video,
Mhm.
8K video. What's next? And what are we going to do with it? Look, give me the most you can fit on that sensor. I want. I agree with you. Give me the native resolution of the sensor.
yeah.
Let me do with it. But you're going to start taxing my ability to even work with it. I love the idea of a 5.6K sensor because I can crop.
Mhm.
I'm a photographer. Okay. You give me a 50 megapixel image. When am I ever going to print out a 50 megapixel
Yeah,
image?
right.
Okay. It's going to be based on need, and I'll never
So-
be that high. But, give me something I can work with at least.
I don't even want to shoot an 8K. I have no desire to shoot at 8K. 5.4K is a good flexibility because I do like to share in 4K, so it does give me that flexibility. Like I think that like 6K would be nice. Like up to 6K is really like what I would want from a drone. But like the Evo 2 8K, it just doesn't make sense to shoot an 8K with such a small sensor to a micro SD card, a really low bit rate for 8K video. It doesn't make sense.
So what's your audience?
Billy,
What's your demographic? Your demographic is looking at this at what, 1080?
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
what's your demographic? So who's going to put out the 6K video? You'll get people that want to, but I don't see the value in it. And really, I don't want to clog up my bandwidth.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
I was editing 4K video, no problem. But as soon as I got that 8K video off from the Evo 2, it was just a nightmare to edit with. So it's not worth the repercussions of trying to edit.
No, not only that, but YouTube and Facebook will shit all over it anyway. So
Billy,
difference make, right?
Really quick. Eddie says, does Billy shoot in 1080 and upscale to 4K like Ken Dobo does?
No, I shoot all my stuff in 4K. In fact, a couple of videos I uploaded in 1080p, and I was getting ripped in the comments. People were like, why is this video not in 4K? I was like, geez, people are starting to care about
right?
Stuff.
They get real bougie, right?
Yeah, that's what happens.
All bougie on you. You forget how long ago 1080p was top.
I know.
Before 4K hasn't been around a whole long time.
Yeah, that's right. Stevie says their eyes light up when they see 6K until they have to edit it.
Yeah, look, I like 6K because I like to export in 4K, so it just gives me that flexibility to punch in. Because if I shoot in 4K, theoretically, if I'm sharing in 4K, I don't have any room. Like I can punch in a little bit and be okay.
Yeah. You got a little wiggle room, but not. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, like at least it gives me some breathing room. So that's why with the Air 2S, I always shoot in 5.4K. I'm not one to want to shoot at 60 frames per second, so I'm never doing 4K 60. Just give me that resolution. Give me 5.4K, and really from there, I don't know how much more I could ask in terms of resolution. Maybe, even though the dynamic range is always good or is already good, I would say like dynamic range improvements and codec improvements is all that I really care about moving forward.
Look, give me as many stops as you can.
Yeah, right.
As many stops as you can eke out. Everything. Look, I'll HDR with the best of them, but start me off with some amazing dynamic range. I love my mirrorless camera. I love the sharpness, edge to edge on the sensor. Okay. It really, coming from the DSLR full frame realm into the full frame mirrorless realm, I think it's huge.
Hey, Eddie. Be nice,
but
Eddie.
Yeah, I want to see it on the aerial platform side of the fence.
I can't wait to fly my DSLR on that Sony drone.
Oh,
imagine!
Yeah,
I don't have one, but like if they drop that Sony drone,
then everybody goes out and buys a Sony mirrorless.
I have the A7 III, but I would go out and buy an A7R4 to shoot some 61 megapixel aerial photos. I would do it.
Okay. Well, Billy, what do you think about this X Dynamics though?
When is it coming? I don't know.
They said it's supposed to be coming soon. This month coming.
I've been hearing soon since last CES. I'm talking 2 CES.
Well, they actually sent me back a message.
So look, I'm pumped.
It's supposed to come out this month.
I'm pumped about it for a lot of reasons because it seems like that answer to like somebody that wants to get a higher end drone, but they don't want to go for like the Inspire. The Inspire is like 4 or 5 years old, so it's old technology at this point. Even though it's still the top dog, I wouldn't want to invest in that platform because it's just so old. But if you look at what the X Dynamics offers, it's kind of like filling that gap. It's like, well, hey, there's no Phantom out anymore, but if you want a really badass drone that's in between the Inspire and Mavic, it's kind of filling that void.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, Billy, before you came on. I think you're going to see a heck of a lot more competition in the commercial or enterprise realm than you're going to see in the consumer realm. Right away you got DJI that's in the 70 percentile range of market share on the consumer side. I don't think they maintain a a high share on the commercial side because there are so many different platform capabilities that are needed out there. We've been talking about these big mega haulers that can carry 100 kilograms, and on up to 1,000 kilograms. So, I don't see DJI competing in that market. I do think DJI will sell sensor technology in that market.
Yeah.
And diversify in that regard.
So what I think is they're going to stick to what sells the most and what appeals to the broadest number of people. And I think that even they're going to continue to do that in their enterprise lineup because they don't have anything that's like super niche. Like maybe their most niche product is the Phantom 4 RTK, which is like only for mapping. That's probably their most niche
well,
product.
they have the ag model also, which is ultra expensive.
Yeah.
But,
the agriculture
spraying drone, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, I agree with you because it's you that's where the money's to be made for them. I mean, is like just on the consumer side of the fence, you can make that entry level drone, you can make the mid level drone, you can make the prosumer drone, you can make the pro camera drone.
Yeah,
and you've basically covered your revenue stream going out. Now, on the commercial side of the fence, I agree with you. They'll stick with the Matrice. It's a capable platform. It can be censored out, okay, and well equipped by third parties now.
Oh yeah.
They've already developed an ecosystem around it. So I think that'll be a player in the market. But I think, we're looking at the airworthiness certificates out there, companies like Pipistrel and others that are in the market that will sell those airframes to other companies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have so many different segments, so many verticals there. I think it's hard to take a lead in that market.
True.
I know. I look at what they do with their M300 and a lot of the payloads that they have, and it's blowing me away. I mean, they're not really teaming up with FLIR anymore to design their thermal sensors, but
it's because FLIR is a competitor now.
It's a competitor, but I think also with the whole trade war thing with China and America.
Well, it's Blue UAS, right?
Yes.
That's a big thing, right? So I have issues that I can't buy DJI product with grant dollars because those grant dollars are derived from the federal government. So therefore, I can't buy DJI product. I still have to maintain my DJI fleet, and I'm still allowed to fly my DJI fleet because we're not federal. Okay.
Gotcha.
If we were federal, they'd be sitting up on a shelf collecting dust right now, which is a shame. And I think also is provided a negative impact on the wildfires that we've had
absolutely
over the last 2 years because Department of Interior can't get out there and do their damn job.
I'm someone who thinks that regardless of where the product is made, if you are in a situation, you need to use the tool that best suits you. The last thing I'm going to think about, like if there's like somebody breaking into my house and I go for like a hammer, the last thing I'm worrying about is where was that hammer made? You know what I mean? Right. This is a situation I've got to deal with right now. And if you're in a search and rescue operation, you were talking about wildfires, but let's say it's search and rescue. The last thing you want to do is use a drone that's only going to be able to fly a mile away, that doesn't have that long a flight time, and it severely impacts your mission. Whereas you want to go and get the best drone that you possibly can. So it kind of frustrates me to a certain extent when I see stuff like that, because you want to get you want to use the best, but it's like that country that's holding you back. It's annoying.
Oh, and it's hard, come on. We've gotten to the point where globalization is something you can't get in the way of and stop at this point. And when you turn around and go, hey, I don't want to buy anything from that country, your shelves are going to be bare. Okay? Because there's hardly a component level product that doesn't have some kind of touch point there. So,
right,
it's very short-sighted for us. So if the issue is cybersecurity based, then encapsulate your data. That's what we did. We use a third party. We use DroneSense. It's a separate solution. We wrap our products with it. We wrap everything, soup to nuts, from pilot to maintenance to actually letting others in to fly, during an incident. They come in and they operate within that same environment. So, the data doesn't go anywhere. and that was the big player. But it really came down to let's try to give U.S. manufacturers an advantage. Okay, give them a real advantage. Give them tax breaks. Give them incentives to teach U.S. students STEM. Okay, that'd be a good thing too. We can say we want to come out and compete, but we're not doing the things we need to compete in this country.
Totally.
STEM education alone, it's like an afterthought.
Hey, you guys, I got to run to do my last shoot of the day.
All right.
But
Yes,
it was great.
In, man,
It was great talking to you guys.
Billy, we're going to see you up here soon, right, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Good.
coming up on summertime, I'm still gonna be working, but I'm always so used to being in school at this time, and now it's like I'm just working. So it's pretty cool. I got a lot of free time, so we definitely got to get together.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
We have
All right.
to.
Sounds good, man.
Something up, man.
And you guys got to come down to Philly.
Okay.
Billy, I was down there
No
with
problem.
Eddie. We were on top of the parking garage. I think you
Yeah,
had a
isn't that
dental.
spot great?
I think you had a dental emergency or something that
That
day. I
spot.
forget what happened that day, but
Yeah. So
Billy, that's the best spot in the whole Philadelphia.
that was a personal thing that was happening with my body that was kind of weird. I had a like something on my butt. It was like really strange.
oh, okay. Okay. Eddie
I
said it
couldn't
was the
even
other
sit.
end. Eddie just said it was an opening. He wasn't that specific. So okay.
Let's put it this way. I couldn't even properly sit.
Completely
Okay.
understand, man.
It happens.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, but see, here's the difference, Herman. Right? We can tell him, Billy. When you have a problem with one of your parts, the fix usually doesn't take much time at all. When it happens to me, that goes on for months and months and months, dude. Okay, even post correction. Okay. Enjoy those fresh parts while you have them, bro.
I know
Okay.
it's good. It's. I feel like my knees are starting to hurt a little bit. I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm only 23. This can't be happening already.
Yeah. You'll spend an hour with Herman. Believe me.
You
Okay,
need
you'll be
another
going for therapy
23
now.
more years before that has a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys,
Hey,
it was
Billy.
It
We
was great
appreciate
talking to you guys.
for coming
Pleasure.
on. We appreciate it very much,
Yes,
man.
thank
No,
you, man. We appreciate
You're always
it.
welcome.
Yeah, of course. If you guys have any
Anytime.
openings, let me know. I'll pop on.
No
Yeah,
problem.
Sounds good,
we,
Bill.
we will make some plans to come down. Herman was a little tied down last year due to an operation, but
Yeah.
he's back up and running now. So you'll be seeing us
Yeah,
back.
and Eddie and I are still need a few more different samples of Philly cheesesteaks to make determinations on
We'll do a
ranking.
Philly cheesesteak
Okay.
tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, we need
I
to
got
finish
my
out
new
our
little-
ranking tour. Yeah. Okay.
What happened,
I'll
Herman?
bring,
And
I'll bring
Herman-
my purse with me.
Look, here's what we're gonna do, Billy. We're gonna bring Silver Sharpie with us next time, just so you can autograph Phantom 101's Mavic. Okay.
Mavic Flight 101 in the building.
Good deal,
Billy,
Billy.
never-
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
you
it.
guys. I'll talk to you
All right.
later. I'll see you.
Thank you, Billy.
All right.
care,
See you
man.
later, man.
See. They're always
Good
a
guy.
great guy. Always a
Good guy.
great guy.
And if you
To hang
guys
out
don't already subscribe to Billy, again, I'll say it again. I don't know what the heck you're doing here. Okay. Because nothing we're
is
talking
true.
about here should be of any interest. If you're not already following Billy, Billy puts out some great content. So definitely go and sub Billy. Okay.
And he
Yes.
does know all of the cheesesteak spots in Philly.
In Philly.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I can attest to that.
Okay.
Well, you know what,
We out.
Tom, talking about that battery issue and battery issues with the growing reports of the DJI Mini may having problems with the discharging of the batteries. Well, in the Mini 2, what they've noticed is that what the issue is been reported that when these batteries have been left in the drone and on the what's that, the what do you call it,
On the charger, the cradle,
Yeah.
cradle.
what's happening is that they're not discharging and they're holding the charge, and
Oh,
this could be the issue what guys may have been experiencing even with the Maverick series batteries, because these batteries could be swelling underneath the shell long
Yeah.
before they start puffing the shell out.
Right.
You know, and once again, like you
Yeah,
mentioned,
of course. When it,
how
yeah.
well these batteries are made. If they were a cheaper battery, they might have been so volatile already and have probably caused a fire. You know,
Other than the fact that they're supposed to also be smart batteries, which means they have some kind of chip technology in it that's supposed to either give an alert or start discharging. Now, it's the same technology that you have on all your DJI drones. It's basically a circuit board that says if the power is above this level, give an alarm. If the power is below this level, give an alarm. But not all technology is applied across the board when it comes to batteries.
well,
Like the
no, this battery does have that technology of the trickle charge down to a safe storage charge, but they're saying that some
Something's not
people
working
are
there.
experiencing
Yeah.
that when
Something's
it's
not working
in
there.
the drone or on the charger, that it's not happening.
it says if you have fully charged batteries sitting around, it will discharge itself to optimum storage levels.
Right.
Supposed to do.
This helps maximize the life of your battery, but what good is if you charge it the night before and by morning it's half dead?
No, that's not what they're talking about. That doesn't happen to the battery.
So what's happening? I'm missing something here.
Their batteries are not discharging.
They're not discharging.
Oh,
They're holding
oh,
the charge.
oh,
They're
Therefore, they're
holding the
starting to
charge.
puff.
oh,
They're starting
that's
to puff. They're
good.
not. They're
Right.
not discharging down like they're supposed
And
to.
they're finding that when you leave them on the charger or in the drone, that this is when it's happening. So I was saying to you, I'm wondering if this is what was always happening with the Mavic series batteries, where guys are having that continuous problem right away. Because they're saying that these batteries will puff underneath the shell long before they start puffing the shell out.
Right. Okay.
You know, and if like we saying, guys buy batteries, they charge batteries, they take batteries out, and then you got 6 batteries you fly 4. You bring some home, and then
Yep.
and then you go back out and you charge, you top those off, and you take them out, and you fly 5 of them, and you bring them back, and
Yeah,
you
that's
charge
bad
them
battery
all,
maintenance anyway.
and then eventually what happens is, you got a battery that goes on the charger all the time. It's not depleting. And now you start talking about swelling. You just leave 1 in the drone, 4 in the holding spots in the bag. You
Yes.
don't know what it could be.
Yeah, I wanted to
And
point out tonight also, check out, where is it? I had it here. Check out the Fly for Fun. Wait a minute. What the hell is it? I just had it. I lost it.
the Fly
Anyway,
for Fun show.
check out the Fly for Fun show with Ray Kelly and other people on the panel. I forget, but Herman's going to be on that live stream immediately after this one. I
Is
thought I had
that
copied and pasted it, but I
no?
apparently
Put that
did
link
not.
up, okay? So
I'm all over the place. I'm stretching myself.
Yeah, Herman is working the circuit tonight.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
I got up at 5:30 this morning.
Okay,
Stretching
here it is.
myself all over.
The Fly For show tonight at 7 p.m. at Johnny Drone Flyers channel.
Yes.
Herman will be on along with Ray Kelly and Johnny Drone Flyer. So Herman's working the circuit tonight,
Very good job.
and I'm going to sit there and show some support while eating dinner.
You can't eat till I'm finished on the show, bro.
Hey, man, stop it. I just posted it again. I have it. So, yeah, Ray Kelly, safe travels to you, dude. I know you're traveling back up to New York. It's to be here by a certain date. So, like I said in the chat, once you get settled in and come on out here to Queens, get out here to Queens, dude, before Memorial Day. Because what's happening is they're already raking the beaches now, prepping them for the summer vacation.
They're talking about 100% capacity.
At beaches.
Beaches open, yeah.
At
I'm
beaches.
going the other way.
Yep, they want them open.
Listen, they lost a lot of money last year. A lot of places lost a lot of money last year, but the beaches more so because some people only open during the season, which means that is their Black Friday from Memorial Day to Labor Day. They have to make as much money as they can to survive the non-beach season. But please don't forget to go by and show some support for Phantom Flight 101 being on that live stream. And that's basically it.
Hold on. So
Also,
you're familiar with Pix 4D, right? I know you are, Tom. But generate 3D models on mobile devices with 5 centimeter accuracy, new from Pix 4D. With okay, now they have the VDOC RTK rover. Now, photogrammetry expert Pix 4D has launched survey grade 3D modeling on mobile devices with RTK accuracy. The
So,
VDOC
yeah, what you're seeing
RTK
here,
rover.
what you're seeing here is them walking around with this device in their hand and actually mapping out what they see. So, guys, when we talk about 5 centimeter, okay, for
yeah, this
those
is the
of you,
device. This is one of the two devices
one
here.
of the two devices, and then you have the ViDoc, which attaches to your tablet.
Right,
Okay.
which is this one right here.
Yeah. So you know, you can use both of these. You use both of these together, and you can actually map out within 5 centimeters. So those of you imperial thinkers, that's roughly 1.9 inches. Okay. So that's a level of accuracy that's pretty significant there. So they can map out. So they do an excavation like this, and they map it out, and then they can share it with the engineers and the contractors and everybody else, and you know, be a lot more accurate in the work that has to be done.
Now, Tom, you remember we were talking about the guy that was doing the surveying and he was doing the modeling and stuff like this?
Yes.
And they came down on him because he wasn't a professional surveyor.
Well, a survey is not doing that kind of work, Herman.
No,
Okay.
I understand.
Thanks, Ray.
But this is something that would be welcomed in construction sooner than with that guy flying that drone. And I saw this and I was like, you know what? I know Tom would like this because I'm quite sure he's familiar with this.
Well, because Pix4D is a pretty good company. Pix4D has been putting out mapping products, GIS-based products for a while,
right?
And they've also great people to work with, by the way. They also recently put out a version of their product called Pix4D React.
Okay.
In the public safety community, you need to do some quick mapping, not for a survey or property line use, but for situational awareness use, and be able to produce something quickly. And if anybody knows about high-level mapping, aerial mapping, they know it's pretty processor intensive work. Okay. Well, their Pix4D React version cut that out where you could do it almost on a dumb laptop, okay, on a Chromebook, and still output the level of accuracy that you needed for a public safety incident, okay? Whether it was to map a search area or to map a debris field, okay, or to map out an incident area with all the exposures around it.
Even now, more so for mapping crime scenes and everything else in between.
Yeah, even transportation accidents, motor vehicle accidents, you know, that bird's eye view is a lot more significant and easier to identify things in relation to others. Like, so when you take a photo from the ground, you have to deal with perspective. When you take that aerial photo, you can do that top-down look, and you can see the skid marks, and you put that scale down. Like any highway or highway patrolman's going to put a scale down so that when you do take those photos from the sky, you have some level of accuracy you can map out to. Right. But now with this software, man, as Billy was talking about, it's automated, right? Or, you know, that autonomy can be built into these things where it takes all the right shots.
Basically,
look at that master shots mode in the Mavic. I'm sorry, I got to drop Mavic. The Air 2S, okay, where it goes out and shoots your top down, your helix, your rocket, your this, and puts them all together and makes you look like a celebrity. Okay. The same thing here is where you can start to use this, where now when the contractors go in, okay, right, Herman, they got a very clear view of what we're dealing with here. Okay,
Hey,
it's not
and you know what?
it's not a series of flat images, because now, just like Google Earth, people, you can go in and move around inside of that realm after it's mapped out.
They actually are working with systems like that. Like when we did the research center up in Harlem, I was able to go into the trailer and look at our pipe runs in a 3D dimension on the computer
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
how everyone can,
Where
cross
your
each other
raceways
throughout that
are, right?
entire
Where
room.
exactly where your runs are going to be, where your raceways are, all of that, and but that makes you more efficient when you're going in there to either add additional systems or B, troubleshoot existing systems, right? So, this is LiDAR. LiDAR technology is awesome, man. So think about these fingers of light coming down and sweeping across the surfaces, and each one is getting a reading back. So it's truly it's building a 3D map. So now when you go into Google Maps, it looks the resolution's pretty damn good. As you come down, it starts to get craggier, right? Well, with this, you can get in a lot closer and you can build a lot higher resolution. That's why drone mapping is still so important. Yeah, we got Google Earth, but you're not getting that level of resolution that they want. They got to put drones up in the sky that are a lot closer to the elements that they want shot, okay, for a higher level of accuracy. And then you build that out, and now you get rid of a lot of that cragginess. The more views of that, the better. And that's basically what the LiDAR is doing. It's going in there and it's measuring all those distances and mapping it out and creating that 3D model. Great product. I can't wait to see the price point on it, though.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Yeah.
But it's available on iOS mobile phones and tablets through the Pix4 DCAT.
You can download the application right now, folks. Except unless you got the price of admission, you ain't buying the two components you need to make it work. Okay. But if you do have the price of admission, let us know. We'd like to review it here on those guys.
Well, if I see it come up, I'll let everyone know if they're interested in jumping on that. Lawrence, you plan on getting one?
Yeah, Lawrence is going to map out. He's going to map out his.
I'm on the phone, guys. I was on the phone. Sorry.
Oh, we thought you were going to buy one of these. That's why.
But yeah, I mean, pretty good show tonight.
No, it was good to see Billy. It was good to shoot the breeze with him and get his take on a few things. And guys, if
we haven't hung out for
again, he's got a good series. He's got a good series right now, Herman, on the 2S up there.
Yeah, I know he's really busy with that.
Yeah, some great stuff on the 2S.
I plan to get a little busy soon with it and get out there and do a few things.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta. Did you take a razor to that shrink wrap yet, or what, man? You still looking at the glossy box?
No, he had the bag out.
He had the bag out. That's right. I'm sorry. That's right. I even made a comment about it getting autographed. That's right.
Yeah. He unboxed.
Put that bag on your nightstand at night, or what?
Now she's refreshed, so he can take it out the bag.
I even charged one to go. I'm ready to go.
Did you take all the labels off?
Oh yeah, they're all off. I'm ready to go. I just gotta pop the lens cap off and throw the propellers on. I'm ready to go.
Okay, remember, you got to spend the first 2 hours at home updating all the goddamn firmware, okay?
Yeah, I know how to fly.
And also, Herman, remember.
I'm not the guy that runs into the Best Buy and go turn it on in the parking lot.
and remember, each battery gets a turn for firmware, okay?
Okay.
Pop that after you're done with that last firmware update. Take that battery out, throw a new battery in, and watch the screen come up and say, guess what? You got a firmware incompatibility.
Update required.
It's better there than standing in the middle of Calvert.
I almost made a comment about each battery gets a turn.
Yeah, we won't go down there.
Yeah, no. Different live stream. So what's good, Lawrence?
Not a whole lot, man. I'm sitting here. I'm waiting for your live stream to start so I can sit down and eat dinner.
My live stream is going on right now.
What happened?
My live stream is going on right now.
He's watching
I
a
know.
different show,
I
Herman.
know. The next one. The
That's
next
not
one.
my show. That's
Herman, he wants this one to be
Flyer
over.
and
Come on,
yeah,
man.
I know he's in a rush to go.
Wednesday nights we broadcast for the full 2 hours. Full.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I said full, right? Not the 3/4 mark.
Unlike,
if it's milk and cookies, man, I'm coming up
Sunday,
short
I
here.
know. I know.
You know what, Stevie? The only thing that I see different about it is the fact if you look at the motors on that thing, it's so damn tiny to put those propellers on. It looks like you'll break it with no problem.
Stevie, he's gonna baby this. Watch, Stevie. He's gonna baby it. Look, you can see he doesn't have the level of confidence with it. It's like a new parent.
Oh, it's on the floor. I let it sit on the floor, so it's not.
Oh, Stevie.
It's not going to pick
Stevie.
anything
He doesn't,
up.
Oh,
he
boy,
doesn't put
man.
his phantoms. His
Oh
phantoms
man,
don't
he
see the
took the
floor.
wrapping off all right there. Okay.
His phantoms don't see the floor unless they're
Does
flying.
it get to fly without a landing pad?
What, that? Yeah, why not?
Oh,
I mean, I have the
See?
landing pad.
Second child syndrome already, Lawrence.
I had that
Okay.
with these two.
when you say second child syndrome,
Second
now
child.
that-
Yeah, go ahead. You want to go out? Go out. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
that's the
God.
commercial. Mom, I'm bleeding. Get a Band-Aid. I'm bleeding really bad. Use
It's
two.
two.
Use two. Yeah. Wait, hey. I'm sorry, guys. Guilty. Right here. Okay.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Fly for fun.
Uh,
That's what's up.
That's like you remember when you used to pack everything up after you finished flying. Now you just stick the controller in the back of the car with the tablet still on it or the phone.
Mhm. Yeah,
Throwing
yeah,
shit
that's
back
true.
in the bag. Yes. The newness wears off.
Yeah, eventually.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Angie. It's not going to sit up there with the Phantoms because I don't think he's willing to make enough room for it. If you notice,
No, those are his legacy birds up
fit.
there. Okay. It's like taxidermy, Angie. Okay. The parakeets all died, but he got them stuffed, and they're sitting up there on the shelf now. Okay. I
Well-
tell you, Angie, once he takes out that 2S, I don't know what's going to happen with that Phantom. I really don't. So I don't know.
yeah,
It'll
have to see.
I'm sure he loves it as well.
When,
but
but
he's a
Lawrence,
true
when
fan
he
of
finds out how easy it is to just pop this up, it's up in the air. Look at those images. What more are you going to write after that? So we have to see.
yeah, 5.6K images.
I'm still waiting on their what do you call it, prosumer level, or that pro level to replace what they have out now.
Yeah. Now you're going to activate DJI Care on this one before that comes out, right?
What, on this?
Yeah, you're going to
it's done
this
already.
at some point, right?
Yeah, is
But
he
that's done already.
He wouldn't take it out the box till it had Care Refresh,
Oh, okay.
That's done already.
and he had to take it out to get the serial number.
So when's the maiden flight, dude?
Next good day we have.
Yeah. We need
Is that a
work
live
on-
stream or
I believe it's supposed to. It might rain tomorrow. I'm not.
tomorrow?
Right,
No,
but we
tomorrow's
need to get together and
So,
shoot that.
I don't know,
those
maybe-
guys.
Maybe I'll
Don't-
catch that Lawrence on Saturday or something. I don't know.
All right,
I
so
gotta get up.
Saturday-
I got to get upstate this weekend because I haven't seen my daughter. So,
All right,
my
well-
granddaughter. So, I got to
At
see.
some-
I got to see.
Sometime at point we got to shoot that new those guys
You got it.
thumbnail. Okay. 6:42 Eastern Standard Time. Herman's got 17 minutes left to this live stream, and then jumping over to the
Did
Fly
you-
for Fun on Johnny
Herman.
Drew Flyers.
I got to
Sure.
interrupt.
Yeah.
Stevie said, "Those phantoms behind you are looking at the back of your head. You better sleep with one eye open."
Well, Stevie,
Good one, Stevie.
What was
They-
that movie that came
they-
out with the drones attacking everybody?
yeah,
right?
they
Killers
go
Box,
into
right?
what we call a box. We put them into a nice airtight box with two latches that I don't think that they can actually work the 3 levels.
He's crating them at night. It's like
He's
don't
letting
feed
them
them
come-
after midnight.
He's letting them come
okay?
out for daylight now, like they're in prison.
Matter of fact, I gotta get on Amazon and get the box for this. But
What's
did they
wrong?
make?
The
Did they
Merce
make one?
matches. The Merce matches anything you own. It's black.
It works, man. The Merce is fine. What are you going to get, a GPC case for it?
I'm a Nanook guy.
Okay, same difference.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
looking to
it's
see
supposed
that
to
they
rain
put out
tomorrow.
The
one
Merce,
a
hey, the
cutout
Merce
for
is
the,
fashionable, man.
you
Okay,
know,
the Merce is fashionable,
sounds good.
especially
Not,
if you sling it diagonally across your body. You can
not in his
whip it
neighborhood.
across and fly right out of the bag,
You
dude.
hear,
Well,
Tom?
well,
Huh?
things
Not in his neighborhood.
things are changing all over, Lars. You know, anything, people
Everything's
doing all kinds of
acceptable
things.
now, Lawrence. Come on, get with it.
They're doing all kinds of things,
Okay.
but you're not
Well,
gonna get.
It all depends on what skin you put on it. Okay.
But
So
you're not gonna get me in sandals. That's not happening.
Could you
come on,
imagine
sandals,
Tom
black
Earth
socks.
pulls
Come
up
on,
with a
man. You
Merce
can't pull that
and
off.
flip flops on or Crocs on? Could you imagine?
Crocs and black socks.
It would be the end of the world. Crocs and black socks with the
Pink,
Merce,
pink Crocs and black socks. Okay.
right?
Do we need to take this any further?
Oh. Guys,
It's
give me a
fashion,
second.
bro.
I have to pay the water bill. Give me a second.
It's fashion.
You don't have a cabinet
You know?
or a cup.
By now, you would figure, right? You have the Gatorade bottle sitting there by now. Come on. Okay.
No, but yeah, that's
No,
not.
that should be a good time flying that, man. Good time flying that.
I mean, I'm interested in flying whatever. Like I said, when I saw this and I told Lawrence, I said they got the 1-inch sensor. It would be nice to have a variable aperture, but it's the 4K 60 is what I was looking for, and then they have now you got what 5K is shooting at. So I mean, we got a little bit more versatility in being able to play with certain things.
Yeah, but
Still give
look.
good 4K image. And you talking about 10-bit color. It made sense.
Yeah, the 10-bit
fine,
color definitely makes sense. It's a huge leap, and
you know.
and look, fixed aperture.
Mhm.
When you're shooting still images, you got a shutter that you can manipulate.
Mhm.
Okay. If you're shooting video, then you know what? You should be using ND filters. And those are your
I understand
wraparounds.
that. It's
And
to
at
me,
night, when you're going to shoot, you're going to kiss your lucky stars. You got a 2.8 fixed aperture that you can let in some light. Okay. So
now you don't have to worry about that.
look,
But you
where in
see-
life are you getting everything you desire? Because if you are, let me know where
What
it is.
about
I want to
long
go there too.
exposures, though, Tom?
Huh?
And long exposure shots. That's the only place you would miss something like that.
Yes, of course, if you're going to stop down. But here's the big difference. A long exposure shot when I'm sitting on a tripod fixed to the planet Earth is a
Mhm.
lot different than a long exposure shot when I'm sitting up in the sky bouncing around with a 3-axis gimbal.
Mhm.
I can only get it so tight up in the sky. So I got to be honest with you. Long exposure shots have never been my forte in aerial photography.
Okay.
You know,
Even in tripod mode.
even in tripod mode, okay, what are you really going for? If you're trying to go for more than 10 seconds, you ain't staying that still enough. You're not RTK. If you have an RTK, yeah, then maybe you can get a lot cleaner shot.
Mhm.
But I think you have to limit yourself, and that's why they came out with these 1,000, to try to get those long shots. But like Lawrence even said, us in your standard kit, my recommendation would be no less than an 8, 16, and a 32. I would definitely add a 4 in there, because what you can do is you can get some nice shots in golden hour with a 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
And around, if you're doing any video and you forego a 4 around sunrise or sunset, your image might get a little jittery. Okay. So you want to slow things down. You can go below the 180 rule. Don't go above the 180 rule. Okay. If you know what I mean. So So if you shoot in 4K 60, you want to be at 1/20th of a second with your shutter speed because you want to introduce a level of blur, and that's why you have to put an ND filter on because your shutter might be 1/500th of a second, and things are going to look too crisp, too clean, and it's not going to look realistic. So you want to throw on that ND filter and slow yourself down to 1/20th. Now, nothing's saying you can't slow it down even further to 1/60th and get very beautiful cinematic video.
Second shutter.
Okay.
I'm looking at the chat. Corey Mano says I can get about 2/3 seconds of shutter to get to work okay at 100 and 200
Right,
ISO.
right.
City.
I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're exactly right. And also, look, on these drones, you don't want them bouncing up any higher in ISO. Okay. Now with this new 1-inch
Not
sensor,
more than 1 or 2.
yeah, but with this 1-inch sensor, you might be able with right exposure. Remember, exposure is key to anything. You can have the cleanest camera out there and still screw it up because your exposure wasn't right? But I would say you might, with the 1-inch sensor, be able to go to 400 ISO
At night.
yeah, and get something. Only again, at night is something when you shoot a beautiful nighttime landscape with still photography, you don't wait until midnight to take that shot.
No.
You take that shot at dusk so that there's still light in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Otherwise, what you get is a noisy mash of.
Well, that's
crackles.
why I was trying to tell Lawrence when we were talking about that filter that they had. Everybody was running out and getting, and I was saying, I think it was more so for you to shoot a little closer to like that twilight, the what we call like the end of the golden
Middle
hour.
twilight.
Yeah, somewhere in there, not when it's like pitch black in the sky.
And that's a mistake a lot of amateur photographers make. They want that beautiful nighttime Manhattan shot. They go to Long Island City, Gantry Piers, State Park. They set up their tripod. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm looking at them like, why would you do that? Okay?
Right.
Running a 20-second shutter there, okay, your sense is screaming at that point, going, no more, no mas, no mas. Okay?
Sensors ready to jump out into the water.
The sense is like, touch me again, bitch. Okay? But, you see that, or my favorite all-time photography, well, I got two. I got to share both. He's at a stadium, the Olympic Stadium. Lights go down, and all the flash cameras go off. What are you shooting? The back of the guy's head in front of you?
No, just all the.
You're 37 rows up. Okay, that light never reached past the guy's nose in front of you.
Oh, you've never been to that graduation. It was a few years back. Everybody is in there with iPads like this.
Because nobody can be in.
Yes.
But that's because nobody can be in current time and place anymore. We all have to experience everything this way. Because we can't experience. What the hell is wrong with these?
But you know what, though, Tom? My thing is this, and I'm being honest with people, totally honest with you on this one. When are you going to watch that again? This evening?
Well, first off, the video's crappy to begin with, okay? So yeah.
You're not even going to watch it end to end again.
Yeah, and your kid is this big. Okay?
There you go, he just passed by. Yeah. Oh, that was him. You don't see it right there.
Look. People need to experience things in time and place. Right? Like you're here, good. This is called an experience. We're gonna lose track of that, man. We're gonna lose. Kids are not gonna know. You can only see it on World Star Video. You can't see it. You can't see it in reality because it doesn't really exist. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna know how to cope. But so that's one, and my biggest one is, what is the worst insult you can give a professional photographer?
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
You must have some camera.
That's right, baby. Ding, 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 ding. That you must have a really nice camera. Okay. Yeah. It's not the 40 years of worth of experience.
Yeah, I'm using
has nothing to do with anything.
35mm wind up.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with me shooting 2 rolls of film and having a level of confidence that I would get all 72 shots come out right.
Mhm.
And then have a payday waiting at the end of the rainbow, because if I didn't, then I probably had a lawsuit waiting at the end of the rainbow because that bride was going to kill me. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
right.
that's going back to the old days, and then developing
Hey,
your own
Mike.
shit. Okay. The chemical development, not Lightroom, guys.
Mhm.
But you must really have a nice camera.
But you know what?
That's
Though?
what I was saying before. You can have the best mirrorless, the sharpest point to point. He's got the mount.
Yeah.
The
He's
mount
got
See,
the mount.
Tom,
Wait a second. Wait, are we going to see you out there all
with
hooded
the
up?
hood. With the hood. Yep.
if it's necessary.
Oh, dude.
Yep. You're gonna see him in the hood like this. He's already got it. He says his tablet fits fine. Everything works good.
Oh, dude.
Those of you who don't know what the hood is, it's a telescopic hood that shrinks down, starts out about the size of your tablet and shrinks down to about this
Okay,
far.
Herman, I'm sorry to say, don't wear
Herman
blue.
Klein, when you go to
Don't
meet
wear
him
blue.
and you say, "Where's Herman?" You just look for the guy in the hood. You
Because
know
if he wears blue, he's going to look like Snuffleupagus. Okay.
that.
He's got this thing growing out of his head. Herman, you want to borrow my Crystal Sky? I don't even know if it's compatible, right? Goddamn DJI bastards. Okay.
What do you say, Tom? You can't give the damn thing away. Oh no!
My wallet is
You know what?
screaming.
I refuse to believe that they've just killed off the Crystal Sky
It's
like that.
funny that you say
Because
No,
that.
it's still used. It's still used on
In
the
commercial use, yes.
Matrice and all. I know,
Okay, in
No, but
commercial, right?
it doesn't take the fly app.
I tell you, I never broke it out for a device that needed the Fly app.
No.
Okay, because remember, I got the
I
smart
still
controller.
like the idea of it.
I do too.
But
It
my
makes
thing
complete
is,
sense.
if they are going to go further with the smart controller and other drones, I might buy that.
Well, the smart controller does work with the 2S, man.
I think
Okay.
they were saying that they took it off.
No, dude.
I thought he said that. Oh,
No,
Nope. Smart controller works with the 2S, man.
okay.
Okay, that was a big one. That was a
No,
big
I
one.
know that.
because
I heard that was the case with it, but
maybe we're going to
It's
have a
worth
lot
a
of
try.
pissed off customers otherwise. There's a whole new group of people who bought the smart controller with the Air 2.
okay.
Okay. So a large number of smart controllers went out the door. So good
Maybe
thing
I'll go
they're
get one.
they're still supporting that. But yeah, the Crystal Sky, man, there's nothing brighter than that. Except what was the one that Billy recently reviewed,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
also
saying, but
Ken
that's like
did.
$700.
It's like Canis or some yeah. And that had to have some nice brightness on it as well.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So
But I was looking at that compared to, I mean, if you want to just use your, the stock controller.
yeah, it'd be
then,
Android
that's
based.
great. That's,
Yeah, it would be Android based, so you can definitely put the Fly app on it.
right.
So that might be a route to take, and that would shed the hoods actually, because I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's 1500 to 2000 in brightness also.
It might
So
be.
yeah,
I
because
checked it
Herman,
out.
if you got 1000 to 2000 nit brightness, you won't need the hoods.
No, I know that. Oh, I know.
You won't need the hoods.
Because that's why I was looking at the Crystal Sky, but then I said, well, look like they're not doing much with it. It's like it's slowly disappearing. So I didn't want to buy something and then turn around and it's dead.
Right, I agree.
The smart controller would have only worked with one drone that I had. It would have worked with the V2, but it wouldn't have worked with the other Phantom 4 Pro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it definitely. And the only reason I bought it was because it worked with a multitude of drones. Okay. That's the only reason I purchased it.
About that time, guys.
yeah.
So
I
I was trying to see if DJI Fly works on, no. Unfortunately, as of this writing, the DJI Mavic Mini and the DJI Fly application is not supported on the DJI Crystal Sky. Well, thank you so much, DJI. I really appreciate that. But then again, that's, wait a second. That's,
Okay.
thank you, Google. That's 2 years ago. How about now?
1,200 nits.
Well, the
on the,
one that they were reviewing was
the
1,200
8
nits?
Yes, 1,200.
All right, it's that time, guys. Come check out Johnny Drone Flyers channel. Herman's going to be on there next. So come by and show him some support. I will definitely be there.
Did you drop the link up there? Drop the link up if we can,
you
guys.
know what? I'm going to do it right now.
Good,
you
good
put
deal.
that link
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
So they
drop
can
the
go
link
on
up
over
there
check
in the
those
chat.
guys show and see what they got going on.
Good deal.
Not
And
Drone
I'll join
Flyers.
you over there.
If he scheduled the stream, I'm going to his page now.
Yeah, he
I don't
should
know if he
have.
scheduled
Should be by
stream.
now, right? Hopefully.
I guess he did. I mean, I usually get the alert from him.
Fly for Fun show. Yes, it's here. Hold on. Here's the link, everyone. It might as well just transfer on over. Here's
Hey,
the
Mike.
link.
What's up,
Check
Mike?
them out right there. Herman's working the circuit tonight at that YouTube link right there. It's been fun, guys, but we got to get the hell out of here. And Herman has another live stream to do.
Dude,
Fly safe.
you make it sound real rough.
No, be safe. Fly safer.
What?
Hey, guys. Tom, Lawrence, thanks, man.
Good night,
Nice
man.
show tonight,
Definitely
hanging
a good
out with
one.
Billy.
Great show tonight.
Yeah, it was
Always
good
people.
thing to talk
One
about
recommendation
with,
I have
Drone.
when you watch
Uh-huh.
Billy Kyle videos, guys, I'm going to give you one recommendation. Sometimes I watch videos on YouTube and I increase the playback speed. Don't do that with Billy. He's already too fast. Okay. So watch him at normal speed or slow him down if you need to comprehend a little more of what he's saying. But Billy, man, Billy gets through that content super quick. So definitely check him out.
Good night,
So
all.
everyone in the chat, I'd like to thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. Without you, none of this would be possible. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those guys.
Those guys. Take
Good
care.
night, all.
Good night. all.
Good night,
Stay safe.
everyone.